What's up, Skydivers? What about another episode of the Ask Skydive Vibes Q&A show? Hey there, this is Catherine Bernier from Skydive Vibes, sharing the passion of skydiving and helping you become a better skydiver. So if you're new here, consider subscribing not to miss our weekly videos all about skydiving, and click the little bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. Anytime during the video, if you think about a question you'd like to ask, feel free to write it down in the comments below and add the hashtag AskSkydiveVibes. Emery asks, could you tell me please for four-way formation which video camera is the best? Don't tell me GoPro. Well, for skydiving, you need first thing a small action camera to be safe. You will want to have high resolution. I would recommend you to get at least 1080p at 60 frames per second. Having a wide angle on your camera is also a must-have in skydiving because you need to focus on your skydive and you don't want to care about framing and wondering who is in the frame of your camera. So the wide angle makes it simpler, making sure everything is in frame. Plus, of course, you will want simplicity of use, and having internal stabilization in your camera is also a great feature because in free fall the footage can be very shaky. And after all that, of course, you want to choose a camera that has a wide variety of mounts so that you can mount it on your skydiving equipment. With all that being said, the best camera out there still remains the GoPro. But if you find a camera with all the features I talked about, this one could be a winner too. Marcelo Paiva asks, is there a difference between the base jump, wingsuit and skydive rig? Well, there are a few differences between the skydiving and the base jumping rig. The base jumping ones are made for quick deployment and don't have all the safety equipment than the skydiving rig. Generally speaking, the base jumping rigs only have one canopy when the skydiving ones have two. And there's also other differences about how they close and how they operate, all of those depending on the manufacturer of the rig. Now, about a wingsuit rig, depending on whether you're doing base jumping with your wingsuit or you're jumping out of a plane, you will use whether the base jumping rig or the skydiving rig. Most of the time, a normal skydiving rig will do the job for a wingsuit jump, although some more advanced wingsuit flyer will look for other features like longer bridle and less aggressive canopy. Robert Lengua Mora asks, how does water and sand affect the rig? And what should we do after a wet landing, for example, a swoop over water? Well, what we need to know is that the damage on the fabric comes from the salt in the water once it dries up. So what we need to do whenever we do have salt or sand on our rig is to make sure that it's washed thoroughly with clean water a couple of times in order to remove all the salt and sand. Some of the big known problems that can occur are discoloration, corroding hardware, and salt crystals getting into the fabric, tearing it up inside out, which significantly reduces its strength. You also need to consider all your electronic gear, just like audibles, altimeters, AED. You'll notice that most of them are water resistant, meaning they cannot be submerged into water, but they can stand sprinkles of water on them. And if you do have a lot of water going on them, you might need to change some air filters. But other than that, there's some plastic protectors that you can buy to make sure that your electronic equipments are okay with it. I would be curious to know a swooper's take on that question. So if you are a swooper or have experience with landing into the swoop pond, let us know in the comments below what did you do with your equipment. Hernan Dario asks, how can I avoid the pressure in my ears when you are descending and when you open the canopy? So the quick tip I do whenever I want to equalize my ears is to simply do like we would do underwater, is to press my nose. I won't talk like that. Is to press my nose and try to blow air out of my ears. I know that's not what's happening, but that's the best way to explain it. So simply, and this feels good afterwards, but make sure not to do it too hard because you can hurt yourself. And also what I've noticed, maybe that's my only personal experience, is that I'm not doing it in the plane on the ride up or at the altitude. Why? I'm thinking that by equalizing my ears at the 13,000 feet altitude, Well, when I go back down, the thing is that there's gonna be a big difference of pressure between my ears and the altitude that I'm gonna be at on the ground. So this is why I'm always doing it after the free fall under canopy. I found that doing it in the plane, I had more pain than by actually tolerating it in the plane and then equalize my ears while under canopy afterwards. But that's my own experience, let me know yours below. Also, making sure that your jaw is moving helps as well, so chewing gum and yawning also help with the ears. Good, so that's it for this episode of our Q&A show Ask Skydive Vibes. I hope you've liked it. Give it a thumbs up if so, and let me know in the comments below if you do have another question you'd like me to answer, and make sure to use the hashtag Ask Skydive Vibes. And you can also use this hashtag on Facebook or Instagram for a quick answer. On that, make sure if it's still on to participate in our holiday contest to get your own Skydive Vibes t-shirt. Let me show you. Pretty cool. And by doing so, you get a chance to also win a full skydiver kit. So do not hesitate to participate. The link will be below if it's still on. If not, well, make sure to stay tuned on this channel to know the next giveaway or contest. On that, make sure to subscribe, keep jumping, stay safe, and blue skies. Is to make sure that it's washed. All of those depending on the manufacturer of the whip. And salt crystals. You also